Hello friends, I am Megha Shinde from Guru Govind Singh Foundation, Nasik. I am one of the participants in International Faculty Development Program arranged by D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Akurdi. Today's my topic of presentation is cloud computing and its impact on environment and sustainability. In week 1 video, I have explained about green cloud computing's impact on environment and sustainability, benefits of cloud computing in the context of environment and sustainability. In week 2 video, I have explained about various ISO standards applicable to cloud computing and green IT. Video outcomes will be awareness of cloud computing, use of cloud in our day-to-day life, data confidentiality in the context of ISO standards related to cloud computing as well as environment and sustainability. Also, this video will create awareness about save environment, save Mother Earth, and make a better world to live in. In week 1 and week 2 video, I have explained about what is cloud computing. So in brief, I will tell here again what is cloud computing. Cloud computing is nothing but a practice of using a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage and process data rather than a local server or a personal computer. For example, we are using Google Drive to store our files. So here we are not using the space of our personal computer, but we are using the space on a cloud, that is a Google Cloud. For example, Google Drive. Features of cloud computing. So great availability of resources, then on demand self service, easy maintenance, large network access, availability, automatic system, economical, security and pay as you go. These are the features of cloud computing. Various IT industries have taken initiative to use green IT and green cloud computing. So they are certified with some ISO standards. Here I have listed some ISO standards which can be applicable for cloud computing and IT industries. First of that is ISO 14001. Its purpose of this ISO certification is environment management. IBM has achieved this certification for its initiative for better environment. ISO 50001. This standard is particularly for energy management system. For conservation of energy, IBM has received this certification. ISO 27000. While using cloud, it is very necessary to be sure about your information security. So this standard certification will assure that your information is secure over the cloud. For example, Microsoft Azure has achieved this certification. There are a series of ISO 27000. Each one in that series will be having a particular meaning or purpose of that ISO standard. That is for information management system, ISO 27000 series. So basically, what is mean by carbon footprint? Carbon footprint is amount of greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, released into atmosphere by particular human activity. What are the causes of carbon footprint? Agriculture, transportation, industrial process and activities. These are the main reasons of causes of carbon footprint. Here, this diagram shows the various reasons for carbon footprint and how it can be reduced. Cloud computing and carbon footprint. How cloud computing can reduce carbon footprint. In previous two videos, we have seen that in cloud computing, we are using resources shared over the internet. Let us let us differentiate on-premises and cloud computing environment. In on-premises, the cost is more, energy consumption is more than cloud computing. For example, whatever resources used in on-premises is more than the resources used in cloud computing. In cloud computing, we are paying only for what we are using. Only for the time period we are using the resources, where in public cloud the cost is less than private cloud. Public cloud, in previous video I have given the example of public transport, where the cost is lower than the car which we own. The cost required in the private transport is more than the public transport. Like that, public cloud is less or is of less cost than the private cloud. In public cloud is free to use over the internet, and the private cloud is owned by any particular organization and its users. So how cloud computing will reduce carbon footprint in today's era? We are somewhere in early 2020. It's quite alarming to be environment conscious in today's situation. Some industry management may decide that it's time to become more environmentally conscious by powering offices from renewable energy, buying electric company cars, and by making attempts to establish remote working or cut down on business flights. IT industries towards less carbon emission. Many IT industries have taken initiative to reduce the carbon emission. IT organizations worldwide are finding solutions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, particularly CO2. Microsoft has pledged to reduce operational emissions by 75% by 2030, but has been operating as 100% carbon neutral since 2012. Microsoft is reducing its emission by putting an internal price on carbon and reinvesting those dollars into clean power, energy efficiency project and carbon offset projects. Graph shows the Microsoft's pathway to carbon negative by 2030. This various parts of this graph shows Microsoft and its supply chain carbon emission, Microsoft's operational carbon emission, avoiding emissions offset and carbon removal. So the graph shows that by 2030 Microsoft is moving towards a carbon negative value. The carbon emission values are on the negative side of this graph. This graph shows comparison of carbon emission of cloud-based versus on-premises delivery of three Microsoft applications. As we have discussed earlier, the carbon footprint is more in on-premises than in cloud-based application. This graph shows that the percentage reduction when the application used is cloud-based as compared to on-premises delivery of the app. Here it is Microsoft Exchange on-premises versus cloud comparison CO2 per user. It is more than 90% in small on-premises. In medium on-premises, it is 79%. Reduced to 79%. Then in large on-premises, the carbon footprint is reduced to 62%, and Microsoft Cloud it is very less. So the carbon footprint has very less value in cloud based application. Carbon calculator. Carbon calculator runs in a circular process. Basically, each time that is triggered after changes are made that impact the calculation. So how carbon calculator works? First of all, it is triggered, then retrieve location and organization, then it will retrieve all inputs of that particular activity, then it will perform calculations, it will create the carbon log with all inputs and outputs, it will update the value on the current period carbon footprint, and it will again reset the carbon calculation needed flag, and this cycle will continue to calculate the carbon emission of a particular organization. So it is a circular process. So IBM also has taken a great initiative to decrease the carbon footprint. Virtualizing server and storage system allows individual system to support multiple applications or images, making greater use of full capabilities of the IT equipment and executing more workloads in less space with less energy. In cloud computing, the space required is less because no infrastructure is needed, it is over the cloud, and less energy is required as the number of resources are reduced. So, in virtualizing server by IBM, it is proved that the carbon footprint is reduced. IBM continues to virtualize and consolidate workloads from multiple servers and storage systems with low utilization on to single system, reducing energy use and expense. In 2015, IBM virtualized more than 30,000 applications and increased the capacity utilization of storage system in our own and leased data center, avoiding almost 132,000 megawatt hour and $14 million in energy expense. Implementation of server and storage virtualization has been a key contributor in reducing the overall electricity consumption of our data centers over the past 4 years. IBM is also expanding its cloud computing offerings. At year end 2015, SoftLayer, an IBM company, and IBM's cloud managed services operated 46 data centers in 16 countries worldwide. Cloud computing can be an efficient model for providing IT services that optimize hardware utilization and virtualization technologies across the server, storage, and network infrastructure. After discussing carbon footprint, let us move to the sustainability. As we have seen the definition of sustainability, that Sustainability is the ability to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The definition given by United Nations World Commission on Environment and Development. So, what is sustainability? In his most recent book, Hot, Flat and Crowded, Tom Friedman writes, "We can no longer expect to enjoy peace and security, economic growth and human rights if we continue to ignore the key problems of energy climate era. How we handle these problems will determine how we handle these problems will determine whether we have peace and security, economic growth and human rights in the coming years. It is very important to conserve energy, to conserve water, to reduce greenhouse gas emission, particularly CO2. As we have seen, water conserve, carbon reduce, and energy optimize and conserve. These three factors are very important in today's era. Water is needed to generate energy, and energy is needed to provide water. So, both activities are depending on each other. CO2 emission contribute to climate change, which impact water system. Energy production results in CO2 emissions. So all these three are depend on each other. So how cloud computing can be a sustainable one? We have to not disturb the future generations requirement in today's era. The keys to a sustainable cloud are sourcing renewable energy and improving energy efficiency. If the cloud is located in areas that source renewable power, cloud computing can not only save billions of dollars in energy cost, it can also reduce carbon emission by millions of metric tons. The cloud not only allows firms to reduce the energy consumption and minimize their environmental impact, it also increases capacity and performance. While the cloud can be a great way to save energy and reduce greenhouse gas emission, as with so many other industries, scale drives efficiency, meaning that when it comes to sustainability, bigger can often be more efficient. For example, by designing its own server and data centers, Google has reduced cost and saved over $1 billion, diminished its energy usage, and lowered its emission profile. Cloud services make a positive contribution to sustainability. The cloud encourages important clean tech applications like smart grids, and it also encourages consumers to use virtual services such as video streaming to replace resource heavy physical products. The cloud also draws resources to where they are used most efficiently, and its job tend to be cleaner and safer than those of more traditional industries. Many see the cloud as a key feature of IT environmental sustainability. Cloud infrastructure addresses two critical elements of green IT approach: energy efficiency and resource efficiency. IBM manages a diverse portfolio of data centers consisting of both IBM owned and IBM managed facilities. Worldwide, IBM operates additional IT lab raised floor spaces that supports internal hardware and software development and testing operations. 325 energy conservation projects at more than 100 data center locations reduce cooling energy use by almost 25,800 megawatt hour in 2015, saving more than $2.6 million. IBM formalized its energy conservation and management program in 1974 and has continued it unabated ever since. Energy conservation is major component of our comprehensive multi-phase climate protection program because the release of CO2 by utility companies powering our facilities or from our use of fuel for heating or cooling represents the greatest potential climate impact associated with our operation. In 2015, and including the contribution from semiconductor manufacturing operations, IBM's energy conservation project delivered annual saving equal to 6.3% of its total energy use, surpassing our goal of 3.5%. So finally, what is our role in environment and sustainability to make our planet a better place to live in? So we should start from ourselves. So what are the common practices that we should inculcate in ourselves? First one, switch off lights and electrical appliances when you don't use them. Switch to energy saving LED light globes. Save energy in how you wash and dry clothes. Understand and improve your home's energy use. Save energy in kitchen. Manage your heating and cooling. Always use cold water faucet unless you really want hot water. Get the best energy deal. These are the little things that can make a big difference in environment and sustainability. At last, I would like to thank to D.Y. Patil College of Engineering for arranging such an informative faculty development program for all of us. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video.